say I want a body. I want a body in the ring. I said I want a body in the ring. I want a body on my record. I want to kill somebody. And I'm with some people that's going to help me do it. They want to see the crazy Wilder. They going to pay me to see the crazy Wilder. They want to see the body in the ring. That's what I'm going to give them. I'm going to give them that thing. Stewart, taking on the only 40-year-old in the rankings isn't a death wish. It's the easy option, especially considering Zhang is coming off of a loss. Okay, Stewart. Bill Keaveney, hit the like button as you come in, gentlemen. Counterpunch to you. Anthony Deep, Kurt Champ, Ukraine in the building. Counterpunch to you. Anthony Deep, Stewart, I hope Zhang makes Wilder quit, just like I hope Usyk makes Fury quit. Those fans have been dining out on the fake AJ quit BS for too long. Wow, that's very interesting. The fake AJ quit. Marlon Thornell, good morning, Kurt. Counterpunch to you. Hope all is good, brother. Everything is great. Everything is eerie. Everything is eerie. What's good, Kurt? 4 p.m. is the deadline. 4 p.m., huh? That's right, isn't it? So that's what it is in the UK right now. It's 4 p.m. Aaron, counterpunch to you, Kurt. Hope your morning is going well. Man, everything's good. Everything's good. I'm on my Kachava this morning, you know. So to make sure they fight, the stipulation should be loser retires. I'm not sure about that. Because if that's the case, if the loser retires, that doesn't really promote the progression of boxing. That's just saying, like, that's pretty much how boxing's always been. Because you know with certain fighters on a certain level, you only have so many times to lose. And I think boxers, boxing fans, I think they should break that mentality. You know, you have, hold on a second. You have exceptions to the rule, right? So, like Derek Chisora, he's lost a gang of times. Mickey Ward lost a lot when he was fighting. You had certain fighters that were allowed to keep fighting. Certain fighters were allowed to keep, you know, giving us entertainment. Going, you know what I mean? And like, I think everyone should have that luxury. But then some, they get beat. Oh, then they get beat again. They're like, oh, it's over. Like, look at Adam Kalnaki. Adam Kalnaki has lost 5 straight fights straight. 5. And, you know, it would be different if he gave us excitement, which he did not. You know, it's been actually kind of sad to see him, to be real with you. It's 3 a.m. here in New Zealand. Just finished work and saw this. Let's have a look-see. What's up, everybody? Chris Hardy, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Bill Keaveney, showing that love. Where's Kurt? Maybe making a deal with the Saudis for some boxing analysis. I wish. Saudis wanted to pay me for boxing analysis. Would give you $1 million. Zhang is the better boxer. That may give him the edge. Well, we already know he's a better boxer. Nobody goes to the Olympics twice like that. You know what I mean? That's kind of hard. That's rather hard to do. You know, him, Michael Hunter, which is another guy that I have a video coming about earlier today or later today. Kurt missed the deadline. I did? When did I miss the deadline? My clock said I was right on time. They don't need to retire. Jay Rooster in the building. Beat done the like button, everyone. There you go. Let's beat it down. Let's beat it down. Mickey Ward's liver shot was the equivalent to Wilder's equalizer game ender. Yeah, that was a hell of a punch that Mickey had. Mama Lou, hey Kurt, how are you? I'm good. The Saudis need some Americans on these broadcasts. Yeah, it's almost like they adopted the UK cats and just forgot about everyone else. Now I will say this: you have guys like Sean Porter that has definitely been, adopted. So I don't think he'll be complaining. But Sean was always a good guy, and I think he was always that guy that Abner Mares, or you know what I mean, or that Latin snake, the Latin snake type cat. Skrilla 50, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Double D, I'm good, man. He said this is one time I have confidence that Wilder is winning. I had Parker beating him and made a tidy little sum from it. I have Wilder beating Zhang late stoppage. Here's the thing about that fight. If Zhang allows Wilder past round 6, he should get knocked out. He should get knocked out. There is no excuse for a guy like Zhang with the punching power that he has. We know that man can punch. We know that man has power. We know he has dangerous power, but we also know he's kind of sluggish, especially when it comes to later rounds. He gets really inactive because, again, he doesn't like to throw a lot of shots. He's not a good finisher. He's not really aggressive than you think he would be. So it's almost like, okay, he's accurate, he's strong, he's powerful, but then what else does he have? You know what I mean? I don't see him with that killer instinct. I mean, look, like I told you guys, he should have destroyed Joseph Parker. Zhang slow speed kills. Wilder needs to constantly move to beat Zhang. I agree. He needs to get on that bicycle, because if he stands in front and does that shit he does, like he used to, no. Yeah, because Zhang will punch right through that. Imagine the skinny arms of Wilder. I think Zhang will take Wilder's punch. I don't think Wilder will be able to take Zhang's. That's the scary thing. See, Zhang punches, man. I think, though, here's a good thing, because Wilder has been training with Malik Scott, and Malik Scott has pretty much turned Wilder into a punching version of Malik Scott, maybe, hopefully. I think he's going to be able to move, because that's all really Malik Scott did. He was kind of a mover, boxer type. You know what I mean? He constantly reset, and if he gets close, he'll grab you up, lock you up. Yeah. So Malik Scott has turned Wilder into that. I think Malik Scott has turned Wilder exactly into the person that he wanted him to be. He just can punch and knock you out. Malik Scott, he's not known for that at all. Malik Scott is a yes man. Zhang's hands are faster and punches are more precise than Wilder. That is true. And see, it's a dangerous fight for Wilder. I'm just wondering, hey, I want a body in the ring. I guess he adopted that because the Saudis pretty much told him, like, look, listen, we want to see that old Wilder back. We want to see that guy that we used to see knock people out cold. That's what we want, you know? And I think this is what Turki Al-Sheikh expects. Turki Al-Sheikh wanted AJ to knock out Francis Ngannou, and he got it. I think Turki Al-Sheikh told the same thing to Deontay Wilder for Zhilei Zhang. He wants Zhang out. You know what I mean? John Park, I hope you're well. Man, I'm a lot better than I was last week and the week before that. Dude, I had like chronic bronchitis. I pushed through. I was tired a lot. Then I went home for a while. And then I'm like, dude, I finally got a Z-Pack and had to go to 2 doctors, had to go to an ENT, then my family doctor. And they're like, dude, you're a mess. So, yeah, I feel a lot better. Like tomorrow, I will go back to the gym for the first time in like 2 weeks or so. So, yeah, I feel good. I really feel good. Filip Hrgovic should not mention retirement. It's boxing. You never know. Mr. Butterball, ain't that a bit? I agree. I mean, I think that's a bold statement because what happens if he gets knocked out? I wonder if he really will quit. You know, and I think he's too young to be quitting. He ain't really made any of the big money yet. You know what I mean? He's fought Zhang. Who else has he fought? Zhang. Who else? Who else has Philip fought? I think the first to get caught loses. That may be the case. Start putting respect on Wilder's name. We'll see. The problem is Fury showed the world how to beat Wilder. After that, he's looked clueless. Zhang is going to give him a bad day. Well, you know, the way that Malik Scott's talking, the way that, you know, a lot of people are looking at Deontay Wilder, this is his last stand. You know, and it's going to be who wants it. Zhang is going to feel Wilder in sin. Is going to feel Wilder in and send him into retirement. We'll see. Michael Buckland. Depends on which Wilder shows up. That Hrgovic interview was funny. Talking of Hrgovic, he's fought nobody else. Wilder being attached to Scott is the problem for Wilder. Wilder has regressed since being with Scott. Well, if he pays for it, he just pays for it. So, you know, anytime that you questioning your killer instinct or your love for the sport and all that, and you know, I mean, it's iffy. Looking forward to Bivol versus Beterbiev. Me too. Me too, people. Because that fight should, and I'm like, people should look at that fight, and it's almost like people are forgetting that is the main headliner on that card of 5 versus 5. 5 versus 5 is a promo, I think, to promote that, but I think people are looking at that separate. Wilder loves ayahuasca. I do wonder how many times he did that shit. Now, if Wilder kept going down there and then kept going down there, that may be the problem. You know what I mean? Like, let's see. Let's ask, because I don't know anything about psychedelics or anything. Dubois is Lear. He was 21 when he fought. Well, he's going to have to show Filip Hrgovic, and I think that's exactly what he's going to attempt to do. Scott is basic, poor. Wilder right on the promoter. Hearn wrong on the trainer. How many times should you do ayahuasca in a year? Okay. Typically, the initial ceremony, which consists of at least 3 days, will begin with a night of purging and cleansing. By the third day, your enlightenment begins. Too much, not enough, on track. How often to drink ayahuasca? Okay, my shaman says that he drinks ayahuasca mainly for his health. I agree. For me, it's like a vaccine I take about 6 times every year. Yeah, I wonder how many times he did that. Knowing what I just read right there, you got a guy that's a athlete, or like Floyd says, athlete. We have to be honest, Kurt. Wilder's are souped up. Yo, Kurt, I don't think Wilder gets through this one. Well, if he doesn't, he just won't. Wilder isn't the most equivalent speaker, but that last interview, his speech sounded like he suffered damage. No, I don't fall for that either. I don't fall for that suffered damage shit either. Deontay Wilder has always sounded the same. He's always sounded that way. I'm so frustrated. He's always like that. I mean, I don't like, he's not the best speaker, but like, I don't see him slurring words. He's just country, That's a ritual. Yeah, that is a ritual. Deontay Wilder is mentally, and you know what though? Now I think about Wilder taking that ayahuasca shit. They said, okay, you have to purge and all that, and then by like day 3, the enlightenment begins. You know what that means? That means they gotta clean you out of everything that's in your system, and then get you high, get you real high. Purge. You have to purge and cleanse. No, they want everything out of your body. So you know what that means. You got a guy that's 6'7", got legs like this, right? Was at one point 240, 238. But the fight before that, he was 230. You know what I mean? And then now he's cut from 230 damn near another 30 pounds. Okay? That's where his weight went. Right there. Wilder's weight went because he was doing drugs. That's how he got so skinny. Well, what happened? He's that skinny because that ayahuasca, he's not really, he probably wasn't a big eater anyway. You know what I mean? He's tall, he's lean, he has broad shoulders, but you can tell he's kind of puny looking now. He ain't got the muscle definition. And I'm talking about how he was back then. He always had skinny legs. That's just the way he's built. But that ayahuasca, I think, has got him to that 214, 215 level. If you guys can remember, he fought Luis Ortiz at like 209 because he was sick, though. He just got over the flu. If you guys can remember, he was sick. That was his excuse. Now, why are you so damn small? And you know how I felt about Wilder being too big, not too damn small. Why is he so small? Ayahuasca. Especially if he took it more than once. And like Skrilla 50 says, it's a ritual. Yeah, he's got skinny due to that type of, habit of taking it. You know what I'm saying? The fear factor is gone. Fighters don't fear the big right hand anymore. Take it away and he has nothing. We got James Bash blessing me with that cash. What's up, brother? Counterpunching you. He says, I got Wilder. Zhang doesn't have the movement. Well, anything I say, I say based on logic, not feeling. And I don't think Zhang will. And see, here's the thing. Zhang is not going to cut off the ring either. He's not going to cut off the ring. He's not going to take the initiative to cut off the ring. He'll try to throw that left when he feels that Wilder's in sight of that left. But I don't see him going, working out. He's not going to do that. He may try some aggressive things here and there, but he's to me, Zhang is more like a very accurate, powerful turtle because he ain't gonna move much, you know. And a lot of, speaking of weight, I'm talking about Wilder being small. Yeah, I think he's too small. But then again, let's not forget about Zhang. Let's stop acting like we didn't see that damn tub he got for a belly. You know what I mean? He ain't got no definition in his stomach. And then if, it ain't his legs, it ain't his arms or his shoulders, anything like that. It's his center area. That man has that man has a stomach. I don't know what the hell Zili Zhang eats, but he eats bad shit. Whatever it is, it's developing a stomach. General those chicken versus Louisiana pie. Louisiana pie. Perfect to KO by Wilder slowpoke. Yeah, I mean, look, Wilder can catch him coming in. Lure him in, knock him out. He's a lefty. You're known for your right hand. That fight should be Wilder's. Wilder did squats and got crushed under the bar. Zhang is very economical with how he exerts his energy. The guy still has the power and still to KO. He can KO Wilder, I'm pretty sure. If Wilder gets beat by Zhang, there is literally no fight I want to see him in after that. If he beats Zhang, I want Joyce Wilder to be made. Well, there you go. If he loses to Zhang, he could fight Joe Joyce. And that could be a fight that he could make. They could put that on like the undercard of some other big ass fight they have with Turkey Al-Sheikh. Zhang maybe eats too much Yang Chow fried rice. He eats too much something because like, I know he's a big guy, but still, you're an athlete. You're an athlete. So there's no reason for that. Wilder got skinny legs. Zhang might confuse him for chopsticks. You guys are a trip. Wilder is full of BS. Bringing the I want a body on my record is just that sad highlight. The same Wilder who cried tears after putting Helenius down, by the way, makes no sense at all. Classic Wilder. James Bash coming in with more of that cash. He says, I agree. Joyce made Zhang look superb. Joyce got no movement, no defense, and got his chin checked. Wilder will wear Zhang out by the movement alone. Yeah, he can move around. But see, he's going to have to. Because the minute he stands still, and if it's rounds 1 to round 6, Zhang's going to hit him or something. And I'm not sold on Wilder's head movement. I'm not. I know he's been kind of squirrely, you know what I mean, with that Malik Scott movement and stuff like that. Yeah. A lot of your Q-scribers hate Wilder, Kurt. I'm not sure. I know Wilder has hate. I think Wilder has less haters now because he's not as dangerous. Why do you all hate Wilder so much in this community? Serious question. You guys are so desperate for Wilder to do a comeback. Wilder may make this a boring fight if he doesn't destroy and engage. Well, I mean, I think it's just all the discussion of how people look at Wilder as of now. The beautiful thing about boxing is, and this is the funny thing, boxing is always changing. This is April, okay? Now, I want people to understand. Hold on a second. This TV is way too loud. Okay. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah, boxing. The sport that one fight can change everything about any fighter. See, we're talking about Wilder and what Wilder needs to do. Do you guys understand what Wilder is pretty much in the same situation that Joshua was in this time last year? Do you guys understand that? And for the record, the guy that Wilder's fighting right now, if Joshua last year would have fought Zhilei Zhang, do you understand how much stick he would have got for fighting Zhilei Zhang? Why? Because Zhilei Zhang hadn't did anything up to note besides have a really close fight with Filip Hrgovic that didn't fight anyone else but Zhilei Zhang. You have to understand that. Zhilei Zhang, he got reputation and he got it quick because he stopped a guy's momentum completely. He stopped the juggernaut from charging in and beating up on people. He stopped Joe Joyce from doing that. He stopped Joe Joyce again. I knocked him out cold. Then he pretty much adopted that reputation from what Joe Joyce had. Oh man, if Zhang could do that to Joyce, imagine what Zhang could do to other fighters. Well, we seen Zhang. We seen what he could do to other fighters. He showed, just like in Joe Joyce, 2 times that he can knock people down other than Joe Joyce. He did that to Joseph Parker, but Joseph Parker showed other elements that helped him win the fight. So where is Zhang now? Wonderful. He's fighting Deontay Wilder. At that time, Deontay Wilder, before he fought this time last year, had a better reputation than Anthony Joshua, Zhilei Zhang. You know what I mean? He had a better reputation. Now he is that guy that we're looking at. He is that guy that people are criticizing, that people are doubting. He's that guy. He's that guy now. That's why I wanted Wilder to fight Zhang 2 months ago. That's why I wanted to see that fight. I didn't want to see that fight before Parker beat him. You know, unless he beat Parker, then it would have made sense. That means that Wilder could have whooped Zhang and not ever needed to revisit a Parker fight. He could just trash Parker like he kind of did anyway. Oh, he just moved around a lot. He was boring, right? But since Parker has beat him on paper by decision, rightfully so, and he has decision Zhang, now it's a totally different issue. Now it's a fight or flight. Now it's the story between the 2 losers. Parker's latest, opponents that he's beat, they got to fight each other to show themselves deemable to the rest of the boxing community. But Zhang, it had made a reputation from one fight. If Wilder knocks him out, what are people going to say? Well, Parker beat him, but Parker didn't knock him out, though. Parker just survived, and won a decision from 2 knockdowns. But Wilder put him to sleep. Then Wilder can say, I told you my name was Dr. Sleep. I told you I know these things that my grandmama said that I would be anointed by God. And that's how I do it, by knocking people out. That's why I'm the captain, right? Facts, Kurt. AJ called a cherry picker when they thought he was going to fight Zhang. Exactly. People switched their opinion on Zhang after the Joyce KO. You see what I mean? People didn't care about Zhang until he knocked out Joe Joyce. Appreciate that love, James Bash, coming in with that cash. Everybody should be exactly like James Bash. Bars. Wilder needs some crunk. Yeah, he does. I mean, he did say that bomb squad and kind of scared the shit out of Eddie a little bit. Oh, fucking mate, he's crazy. Wilder and the doctor sleep. Bullshit. Yeah. Dillian White wad after the Hammer fight. Well, I mean, he chose to fight Hammer, and Hammer chose to say, you know what, I'm tired, dude. I'm not in shape. Dillian White didn't look too good anyway. Listen, here's the thing, man. You got a whole bunch of fighters. Think about who's 35 or who will be 35 this year. Think about it. Tyson Fury, Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, Michael Hunter. Who else is 35? Dillian White, right? And if they're not 35, they're older, like Usyk, Wilder, Zhang. You know what I mean? Like these guys are older. And like that's 8 guys. I mean, 8 major players in the game. Everybody else, like Parker's an exception. He's just been around a long time. You know what I'm saying? Who else is there? You know, you have then everyone else is kind of rather old. You know, like a Jogba, and Jogba looked like shit his last fight. I've seen that fight. And what I seen in that fight, I'm like, ooh, Jogba has plateaued. He really needs some defense. He's too tall not to have defense. Cuban power versus Chinese power. I mean, who are we talking about? Luis Ortiz or Frank Sanchez? Frank Sanchez, he's another guy that he's younger. And he's really not all that young. Okay. He's like 31, I think. 30, 31. I think Wilder is going to pull this off. You put money on it, Kurt. Well, no. I'm not putting money on it simply because it's not even worth betting on. The betting odds will suck. Why? Because Zhang didn't take out Joseph Parker. If Zhang would have knocked out Parker, yes. Because then at that point, Wilder, it wouldn't be in favor for Wilder. It would be in favor for Zhang. Because Zhang has just knocked out a guy that beat him up, that roughed him up, should I say. He didn't really get beat up. He just got roughed up. He got outboxed. He definitely lost. But, no. But Zhang, he just showed us, okay, all you got to do is move around, Zhang. All you got to do is move from Zhang. Because Zhang is, stand still, I'm sorry, people. Wilder is getting knocked out. Drummond for life. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. If I had the cash, I would do it, but I'm broke. You deserve all the blessings. Brilliant content. Appreciate you, the godfather of boxing. Dubois still young. See, it's Dubois, Frank Sanchez, Anderson, Parker. Who else do we have left? Look, let me tell you guys something. The heavyweight division is going to be real sad in a couple years. In a couple years, when AJ leaves, when Tyson Fury may leave before AJ, to be fair. Dillian White, nobody really cares at this point. You know what I mean? After that last jacked up drug test. Because, nobody even cares that that's the sad thing. Nobody even cares that White's drug test came back, whatever. Because people have seen that too many times from White. You know what I'm saying? That's the bad thing. And then, and when you come back and you look like that, people don't really care. They don't. See, views don't lie. And I have quite a bit of subscribers. More than most, not more than some. But I notice if I do a video and it doesn't reach a certain amount, people don't care. You guys show me what you want, what you like. Am I right? Am I wrong? You guys show me, hey, I like this or I don't. Oh, Dillian White, I don't want to watch it. If I do a Dillian White video and it's nothing like massive, he didn't get, he didn't pop dirty or some crazy thing, nobody will really care. Nobody really cares about his potential or what he wants to do or any of that stuff. If Zhang comes in at 290, then he's ready to retire. Yeah, he needs to come in about 270, and he's not going to do that because I don't think he has the time. And see, this is what happens. A lot of these fighters, if they're going to lose weight, a lot of them, not really heavyweights, but a lot of fighters, they spend most of their training camp losing weight. They don't spend it on actually training for the fight. They're training to lose weight because they're trying to make weight. Well, in the heavyweight division, you don't need to make weight. It just shows you how big you are. So a lot of people, that's how people balloon up. Hunter also bashed up Martin McCauley and got zero credit for it. Well, man, Michael Hunter, I like Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter fucked his career up. I'm sorry. He messed it up. He messed it up. He like a lot of things that he's done, again, I have a video for that. I don't want to talk too much on Michael Hunter because this is about another American, you know. Parker, Hergovic, Macaulay are 31 years of age. Well, here's the thing. If Hergovic gets sparked out by Daniel Dubois, he said he's going to retire. Yo, Kurt just jumped on. Didn't even get a notification, but I'm here. Tony Lyons. YouTube does that, man. You just have to be looking at YouTube like I'm thankful that a lot of people are. I mean, it not because I'm like a content creator, but YouTube is my favorite app anyway. I go to YouTube just looking at other people's videos and seeing video clips and stuff like that. Then second would probably be Instagram. I don't really look at besides my phone. That's pretty much it. YouTube, Instagram. That's pretty much it. Facebook. I hardly ever look at Facebook. No, for real. I think Wilder knocks out Zhang because he's too stationary, big, slow target. Yeah, he's a big target, all right. You know what? This is what I say about Zhang. Zhang he's slow-footed, but he has fast hands. So what happens when people see him moving slow, they get deceived because they don't know or they don't expect the hand speed of Zhang to be as fast as it is. And he's really accurate with that straight left. And then follow with that right hook, So he tries the jab, but the jab requires you to probe, and he doesn't like to move. So if you don't like to move, you don't like to probe. So therefore, he won't really throw the jab like that. When you throw the jab, you're looking. He's not trying to do all that. I've just unsubscribed and subscribed again. That normally shakes the shit up. Yeah, it does. We'll see if it does. We'll see if you get the notification next time. Fury is losing weight because he's hired a nutritionist and eating only that food. Michael Buckland, he should have been doing that anyway. Tyson Fury, if I was Tyson Fury, I would be tired of being a fat guy. I got all that money. I'm not going to walk around looking all fat, even though he's not the best built dude, but like at least I would have abs and I would chop them hams off the side of my body. This man has two built hams. He looks like he has two tires on the side of his hips. Dude, I wouldn't necessarily do an Oscar De La Hoya and have surgery. I would definitely have somebody that will whip me into shape to the point, because you can do that naturally. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. It's just people that have money, they know they can. No, if Tyson Fury knows he needs to fulfill a task, if I was a retired Tyson Fury, I would be a bald-headed, ripped dude that's ready to take on Hollywood. That's what I would do with my part, with my full time then. I do feel Zhang gets Wilder. Okay. I reckon Zhang wins this one. Okay, Chris. Black Cloud, the U.S. has around 300 heavyweights, and the majority of them are on the domestic level. There's going to be some new blood in the division in a couple more years, mark my words. Black Cloud, let's hope so, because everybody else is leaving. And Jared Anderson, I think he's very gifted. He's just unpredictable based on his personal life. Let's just put it that way. Justice Hooney, Jared Anderson, Dan Dubois, 25. Jared Anderson is not 25. This man is at best 24, and he just turned 24. Like Joe Frazier. Just like Andy Ruiz, slow feet but fast hands. That's it. Wilder Zhang is a 50-50. Okay. I respect that. Well, a few days ago, Zhang said that he will come in lighter against Wilder, and Malik Scott said that Wilder will be heavier in this fight. What do you think about that, Kurt? Well, Wilder needs to be heavier. I don't think that was I think if you're that light like a feather like that, how powerful can you really be? Let's just be real. How powerful can you really be with being that light? And because see, the weight Wilder was, I think it was rather unhealthy. See, there's a such thing as healthy weight and unhealthy weight. And you know that depending on your body type. If you know you're an athletic guy and you know that you're known for, hey, yeah, I might have skinny legs. That's okay. Skinny legs for a boxer is actually a good thing. You just can't have weak legs. Skinny legs is good because you don't have, you can move. That makes you more mobile. That means you can do more stuff with skinny ass legs. Like, yeah, like I used to look at a British fighter by the name of Robert Eaton. No, is it Easton? Easton. And he was a pretty good prospect. But he had skinny legs, bro. His legs don't match his body. Chris, his legs match his body now because he's small. You know? Vamos Jaime. Okay. Those slabs defend against body shots. Yeah, they can. I just looked on LDBC channel, first time in a very long time, and ain't it funny how they changed the energy on Eddie Hearn? Absolutely. Why? Because Wilder has finally woke up after 6 years of calling Eddie Hearn racist, calling him a slave master, calling him this, calling him that. Oh, you know that was coming. Oh, you know that was coming. You think I forgot about that? You know, he just milking Annabelle, AJ just Annabelle. All that post-slavery bullshit that he was talking. You know, that's one thing that's like cringeworthy in the South. People talk about that shit like it happened 10 years ago. And it was damn near 200 years ago, but people talk about that shit like it happened yesterday. And it just shows you like some people are just behind time. One thing about that era, you don't never supposed to forget shit because things can, you know, easily become again. And in fact, now in 2024, there's more slavery in 2024 as it is than it was then. It was just legalized then. That's what made it so dangerous. But speaking all that shit about Eddie Hearn is the reason why Deontay Wilder has the confidence that he has. Do you guys understand that? A lot of people might say that's bullshit. No, it's not bullshit. It's not bullshit at all. I'm going to take a break here and find this quote for you. Then I'm going to come back because I have to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? So hold on just a minute. I gotta let me find this, and I gotta take some stuff out of the refrigerator too, and I'm gonna find this, and then we're gonna listen to it together on my where the hell is it? Where did it go? Somebody stole it. Son of Anyway, I'll find it, and then we're gonna look at it. We're gonna listen to it rather. Okay. Yeah, remember AJ is getting milked by Ed, but Wilder was also getting milked by Shelley. If you guys think Eddie Hearn was milking Anthony Joshua, making all that fucking money, you're insane. If anybody was getting milked, it was Shelley milking Wilder. And I don't even call that milking. You can't milk something that's not really producing anything. See, Wilder wasn't producing fights that he really deserved. That 12.5 million, that 15 million should have been in Wilder's pockets for fighting AJ in 2018. Those were the offers that were sent to Team Wilder. These weren't, hey, take it or leave it offers. These weren't, you got 24 to 48 hours to accept offers. These weren't, hey, you got to drop your contract to come over here and fight on Showtime offers. And we know you're signed with Sky Sports. Okay? These weren't those type of offers. These offers were to, hey, listen, you want to fight? Here's the offer. Those were the offers, and they said no. And they said no because it's either two reasons. One, they were greedy, or two, they did Wilder like they did him with Klitschko because they didn't believe he could win. Then they were like, look, we're not going to take that fight unless we have a split, because if we take a 12.5, that's all we're going to take. And Joshua will move on to the next possible opponent, because they remember Tyson Fury had just came out of retirement in 2018 by fighting Safiri and Pianetta. So they knew, well, listen, what we could do is we could fight Tyson Fury and get him on board with us, since Tyson Fury turned down, or should I say, Eddie turned down to the opportunity to work with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury went with Eddie Hearn first when he wanted to come back. He wanted 4 tune-ups and Eddie wouldn't give it to him. So he said, fuck you, Eddie. So he went to Frank Warren. These are all facts. So he signed with Frank Warren. And once Shelley found out, you know what? He signed with Frank Warren. Guess what we can do? You know, we're not going to even deal with Eddie Hearn right now. We're going to get more leverage by knocking out Fury. You know, Fury was just 400 pounds a few months ago. So let's get him in there. But no, I am going to let you guys listen to an interview and show you and prove to you that Eddie Hearn is the reason why Deontay Wilder's on this card. He's the reason why he's confident about even coming back to the sport. And I'm going to do that in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, and I will be right back. Stay tuned. Great. Okay. As promised, guys, I am back. And I found my speaker as well.
To use this feature, please make sure your app is running and
Kurt,
can
read my
access the
message.
internet.
All right, now. Okay, here we go.
A few people, we made them believers in the plan and the concept. Only one fight, one night, but hopefully it could be more beyond that. And I think my move to make him captain was just a double down of that belief in him, because I really believe one thing, that people underestimate what a promoter can add to you as a fighter, not just in terms of your profile, but just that belief, like feeling like you're a star, you know, pumping your chest out while someone's standing there going, this guy is the man. And he's never had that. He's never had a promoter. And he's always been the one, I'm this bomb squad, blah, 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 blah. And like when I sat down with him yesterday before the presser, I said, I want you to know I picked you because I believe in you and I think you're a dangerous guy. I think you're a great heavyweight. I think you're going to bounce back. He's like, okay, you know, and I'm mucking around in front of the cameras, going through the whole team. And I see when I'm saying, now this guy, and I'm looking over and he's like, you know, don't underestimate the power of what that can do. Giving him the captaincy was just a double down on that. I need to give my captaincy to the person, it's double points. The one I really believe is going to win. It's you. Yeah. You know? So, yeah, just a weird turn of events.
Weird turn of events that could lead.
So, Eddie Hearn has made Deontay Wilder a captain. And as you guys can hear with me and understand what he meant by the conversation, Eddie Hearn has definitely need to buy one myself. Yeah, this suckers, I think. This is, what is this? This is a mega boom. This is a mega boom. I got it a couple years ago in Target when I was just walking through Target one day, bored out of my mind. And I was like, cool. And I think it's either 200 or 300, but I want to say 200. But yeah, I love it. I love this speaker. I don't really like to take it many places because, you know, people see this, oh shit, you know. And this is cool too, because if, like, let's say it's only designed to my phone, right? So if somebody else tried to connect to it, it would have to ask me, hey, so-and-so is trying to connect to your phone. You know what I mean? But anyway, betting on himself didn't work out so well. No, it didn't. God of War, it did not. And there's nothing wrong with being wrong, but there is a lot with being wrong and having people think that you're right and other people thinking that you're right. I've got the big JBL one. That's cool. That's cool. Big Baby beats Derek Chisora. Yeah, I think Big Baby does beat Derek Chisora. I seen that fight with him and Gerald Washington, and I was not impressed. You know what I mean? Because that fight could just win either way. Gerald Washington is just a guy that he was never really that aggressive anyway, and he's pretty much a football player adapting to the ways of boxing. And, you know, no. Even at 300 and whatever pounds, Jarrell Miller would beat him. It's just the only thing Derek could hope for is Jarrell Miller runs out of gas again. And I've been watching Jarrell train, and he gives me the perception that he's actually losing weight and he's actually trying, and he's doing it the right way this time. Imagine Jarrell Miller, the former unified heavyweight champion of the world. Look what kind of fights he could have got. He could have fought Tyson Fury. He could have fought Wilder. He could have fought these guys and made a lot of money. Because I think that Joshua at that time was damaged. I think Joey DeWaco or whoever that other sparring partner was knocked the hell out of him, knocked him down, hurt him, gave him a concussion. Then that fight still had to go on because, you know, AJ's ego, along with all the other pressure that was put upon him and the promotions and the endorsements and all that stuff, yeah, he wasn't going to not show up that night. Kurt, finish on what you were talking about. Absolutely. Getting to it. Eddie Hearn did that because Eddie Hearn knew that was the best fight that he could give the Saudis. And he had to convince Wilder that, hey, you are who you feel that you are, or, and he had to make Wilder believe. That's what he was just saying. He didn't have to make Wilder a captain. He could have done that for the Saudis. He did that for the Saudis, but he didn't have to make Wilder captain. That was brown nosing. Why would Eddie Hearn have to brown nose Wilder? He brown nosed Wilder because he wanted to give Wilder confidence, because he needed Wilder to have a different type of mindset, and it didn't take no damn ayahuasca to do it. It just took someone that is from the other side of the pond, or across the street, to tell him, like, look, man, I believe in you. And, despite everybody else not believing in you, I do. And what I mean by that, I mean, Eddie Hearn did something that Shelly, where the hell is Shelly? Shelly's around, but he ain't around, is he? Where was Shelly when Wilder got his ass whooped by Parker? Where was Shelly at? He was around for the days of reckoning before he lost. He was around then. Where is he at now? He's behind the scenes, behind the curtain somewhere. He ain't really around. You didn't really hear a lot about him. You know what I mean? And that's what happens. And he's the manager. Okay, listen, people, Deontay Wilder's last promoter, do you know who it was? And it wasn't JD's either. JD's was a trainer / co-manager. Do you guys know who Wilder's last promoter actually was? I mean, this is a question. Psycho Crusher, what's up, brother? Shelly ain't been around, but he's on the background waiting to get paid. Yep. Pay me, Deontay. Where's the little loan? Sup, Kurt, CP to you, like the thumbnail. Like the thumbnail. Yeah. Do you guys know? Does anybody know who Wilder's last promoter was? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me who was Wilder's? No, it wasn't De La Hoya. Jay, it was Lou DiBella. Absolutely. Lou DiBella was his last promoter. Lou DiBella was the guy that got Wilder in front of John Skipper. He was able to bypass Hearn, simply because Wilder and company was so upset and they didn't get along with Eddie Hearn so much that they were like, look, let's do this. And Lou was like, okay, Lou, well, fuck it. We'll talk to John Skipper. I know John Skipper. So he put him, Wilder, Shelley, Al Heyman. Who else was in that? Who else was in that office? JD's. I think JD's was there. And they sat down, and John Skipper told him what the plan was, what the offer was. Hey, well, you're getting this amount because we know you have a mandatory by the WBC. You're the WBC champion. So, we're going to give you $20 million for your mandatory if you fight on the zone. He was a free agent. There was no stipulation. There was no conflict. There was no complication. Hey, just fight on the zone if you want this $20 million. Then your next fight will be, you could fight Anthony Joshua. You could fight him for $20 million, and then you can fight him again at $20 million. So it's going to be a two rematch clause. Shelly Finkel, he didn't say this at first. Al Heyman supposedly said, hey, that's Floyd Mayweather training money. Yeah, Lou DiBella. A lot of people forgot about Lou DiBella. I didn't forget about Lou DiBella. Lou DiBella was the only one that actually tried to help Deontay Wilder. And Lou DiBella wasn't even really like a star player or one of those huge premier promoters that was backed by a network. Okay, he's worked and grinded all of his life. He's older now. He's about 60 now. But Lou DiBella was around since the 90s. And he worked for HBO for the longest. But the man carried Deontay Wilder up into that point. And then he pretty much, this is what Lou DiBella did. Lou DiBella told Al Heyman, Deontay Wilder, Shelly Finkel all where to go. He told them all where to go. He told him to F yourself. I did my job. Unlike what did you guys do? Sit back and turn down offers and pretend like Wilder wasn't getting offered anything or what he was worth. And I got you to this position and this is how you did me. You guys don't want this fight at all anyway. And I think it wasn't Wilder. I think Wilder wasn't smart enough to understand that the people that were around him did not want him to fight Anthony Joshua. That's what it was. And they wanted him to fight Anthony Joshua on their own terms. Al Heyman, let me tell you something about Al Heyman. Al Heyman is a very shrewd businessman, but he's very egotistical. Very. So he's not one of those kind of guys, well, if it's better, if it's good enough for the fighter, it's good enough for me. That's not Al Heyman. Al Heyman's like, look, if I can't get you the connections, that means the connections are not worth getting. That's how he thinks. He doesn't give a damn about the zone. He doesn't care about anything else. He cares about who his connections are or how high his ceiling goes. He doesn't care about anybody else in anybody else's house. He cares about his own house and his own ceiling. If somebody else's ceiling is higher than his, he doesn't care about that. That's Al Heyman. And everybody else falls in the line because they know there's nobody more powerful than Al Heyman. He is the god of that universe over there. PBC, Prime, Showtime, all that stuff like that. Listen, that's Al Heyman. Okay? That's Al. And if you do cross over and if you're one of Al fighters, like look at Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz really ain't fought since he got those 2 fights with AJ. Think about it. He lost to AJ in 2019 in December. It took him a year, then another year and a half. That may be Andy's fault. But then again, how about this? It might have been Al Heyman's doing. That might have been punishment. You took your ass over there to the zone and you made millions. You know, you don't need to fight. Kurt, imagine that. Usyk wins Fury 2 times, Beterbiev wins Bivol 2 times, and then Usyk and Beterbiev fight in the cruiserweight. This is the biggest effing fight in the history of boxing. I think it will be the most controversial. I don't know about, because here's the thing. You got 2 undefeated guys, and they're both undefeated. They're both, one's from the Ukraine, and the other one's from Russia, bro. You know people are going to look at it like that. Let's just be real. You know what I mean? See, one thing you need to understand, I was watching a Beterbiev fight the other day. He was fighting, I think it was Callum Smith. You know how they say Callum Smith, they had the country there? That country was Russia for Beterbiev. It wasn't Canada. See, they kind of bypass that when it comes to politics. No, Beterbiev, he lives in Canada now. No, he's Russian, bro. He's Russian. Arslanbek Markmadov is Russian. You know, they all know each other. Aaron Ivey coming in with that Cinco. If Wilder loses again, it's because his hand is permanently broken. Well, I don't know about that because I don't believe Wilder. See, Wilder can punch you and break his hand. He'll still keep punching you with that hand. That's the Wilder that I remember. Wilder broke his hands many a times. Okay. And that's a seller. That's the 3rd super on the live stream. Appreciate you, Aaron Ivey, for the support and the love. You know, he's actually checking. Okay. I never thought about the Ukraine versus Russia aspect. Yeah, bro. That would be big if that happened. The only question would be, would Alexander Usyk, how much does he weigh now? 220? He'd have to drop down 20 pounds. And I've seen people that had great athleticism that went from heavyweight and came back down. You know what I'm saying? Roy did that. And it didn't benefit him. You know, I mean, Usyk has been in, a heavyweight for 6 fights now? I feel sorry for Wilder. So many demons in his ears, all these years. Bars. If he signed with Eddie years ago, he would be rolling now. He would have been, and I think the whole idea was, people were in his ear telling people telling him, convincing him that Eddie is the devil. Eddie's that white man that wants to control stuff and keeps people in bondage and all that bullshit narrative stuff. That's what was happening back then, and I seen it. And then you had a certain amount of the channels that benefited from it are the channels that actually were created because of of racial equality. So like a lot of channels got popular because of certain fights. Okay. The breakdown, like the LDBC, and then you had guys like Boxing Ego, Dante's Boxing Nation. If you notice, their angle is always about something racial because they know race sells. They know people, hey, I like boxing, but hey, I could buy the idea that boxing is corrupt, which it is, but I could also buy more of an idea that, hey, this fighter's better than this other fighter, but this other fighter's not promoted because of the color of his skin. You know what I mean? So let me make a channel and exploit that whole reality, and see how good it does. Well, it sells. Racism sells. And it sold. That's what happened. It sold. And since it sold, those channels were able to bring their subscribers up. But who do you think is subscribing to those channels? People that have that main mindset, damaged people that suffered racism themselves, angry people, people with certain perceptions, other people, racists, you know what I mean? Pro-racist. That's the people that actually signed on to watch that content. And if the content has good points to it or somewhat, okay, give you an example. 10 years ago, Lara lost the decision to Canelo. Do you know how long those channels talk? Because I listened to those channels, and it's like, okay, they covered that for a long time. I mean, a long time. They covered that whole thing, and it doesn't even have to be that you're one of that or in that category. All they need to do is associate you with it, because they're just trying to make content for their audience, because they know their audience is expecting a certain amount of content in this category about these particular topics. Like, oh, well, why was Pernell Whitaker not really recognized like Oscar De La Hoya was better? Why did Pernell Whitaker lose to Oscar De La Hoya? Those type of thing. That like those type of topics were brought about. AJ eats crow versus Usyk again. Deontay Wilder was a racist. Tyson Fury said it back in 2021. Well, here's this to this. You remember to this day was created because Tyson Fury was talking about his own struggles with his own people, and Wilder got pissed because he was like, well, what about mine? That's what it was. He was pissed off. That's kind of predatory. Kind of predatory NGL, way. What's NGL? I think Tyson Fury is a racist. I don't think he's a racist at all. And I look at Tyson Fury, the last thing I feel or see is that. Kurt, did you see Michael Hunter or Tim? I did, and I'm going to do a video on. I've done a video on it. And I watched it this morning. Okay, I watched that fight this morning. And wow. That's all I'm going to say right now. Because actually, I'm going to post that video after this live stream. But yeah, I got a rant coming about that. I remember when Tyson Fury got in trouble for saying the N-word on his birthday, singing Juicy by Biggie. I remember that, and that was during COVID. That's the stuff. Like, you had him saying the N-word because he was quoting a song from Biggie, Juicy. Then you had Deontay Wilder twerking. So, I mean, do you guys understand how sad and how little of content that we had to go on in 2020? Like I could go on live and just be like, man, let's talk about how many people were. And matter of fact, you couldn't talk about COVID because the minute you said COVID, they would demonetize your video. Seriously, I would go back to my studio And then you would just see that little yellow check, and you're like, okay, this ain't gonna make any money, simply because they took, like, you could not benefit, you could not promote, you could not, nothing that you could in like what's the word? You could not get anything or financially benefit in any way by saying the name of COVID-19. Kingsley, hello, Kurt. Greetings from Munich, Germany. As your fan, it is possible to make an order of this exact same size, long arm, white t-shirt from you. Thanks and God bless. Absolutely. Sure can. Yeah, go to my Instagram, DeVille Kurt, and send me an inbox. Yeah, I have a few of these. I have a black one. I had a couple of, man, these disappear. My daughter comes down, man, and she takes a lot of my shit. How many, like all those shirts I had, man, like either I sold a lot of them and I sell them to order. So like I have a customer that's buying some, shout out to Anthony. Anthony's buying some in Mississippi, which that's easy, and I get my gal to pick it up for me and then she'll mail it off. But then here's the thing. My daughter comes down from the Army because she's in New York. My oldest kid, man, she's 23. My oldest child's 23, and she comes down and, dude, she loves everything I wear, she wears. And it's just like, she will take all of my stuff. Like last time she came, because she came to Austin, and she came here, dude, and I had like I had hoodies, I had all types of stuff, hats. My daughter took that. She was like, thanks. And she took it back, because it's cold in New York. It's still cold in New York, especially where she is. Usyk KOs Parker. I don't know if he KOs Parker. I think he beats Parker. That would be a good fight, though, because, see, Parker has, Parker won't be worried about, like, power punches. He won't be worried about, like, that danger factor of getting knocked out by Usyk. He would have to worry about getting outboxed and outworked by Usyk. That's what he would have to worry about. That's why I honestly, I want to see that fight. I want to see Usyk versus Parker. See, some fights, they have to go a certain way or we'll never see them. That's why I feel so shitty about Ortiz in 18 fighting White. We never will see Dillian White versus Luis Ortiz, and that's the fight I really wanted to see. I didn't want to see any damn Chisora White too. I didn't want to see that at all. This is a Fury hate channel. How is this a Fury hate channel? When the hell did I say anything bad about Tyson Fury? Yeah, people are stupid. Kurt, who win Artem Slav? I don't know. Probably Mark McCauley, because Mark McCauley, his jab is solid, and he knows how to stabilize and keep Artem Sulinskov back with his jab. Can you send to the UK? I can, yeah. I send a lot of my merch to the UK. That's who really buys the stuff. You make videos against Fury. So that don't mean I hate Fury. It ain't against him. I make videos about Tyson Fury. Some of them are what ifs. Some of them are just questions. Some of them are just facts. Why freeze out Bud? Too dark, dude owns 160. Too dark. Why freeze out Bud? Too dark. Cruising Might. I don't want to endorse that because the scary thing about that is it may be true. That's the scary thing. I don't want to endorse that because it's like, okay. I think it's because Terrence Crawford didn't play ball with certain promotional outfits. You don't do the what ifs with Usyk. Why? Of course I do. Yes, I do. You just don't look at it because you're a Fury fan. See, understand, people that are fans of fighters, they only look at only look at videos that have something to do with their fighter, if it's positive or negative. You saying I never did a what if about Alexander Usyk? Of course I have. The hell are you talking about? See, that's the problem. But then again, here's the thing. I might do more about Tyson because Tyson's more outspoken. Tyson gives you more content to work with. Usyk does not. Usyk doesn't come in and say, hey, I'm the best fighter since I came out. I'm the best fighter that ever came out their mother's vajayjay. Okay? That type of stuff. You know, so that's more content that I could go off of. Can you name one? Sure. You know, can Alexander Usyk really take body shots? You know what I mean? See, when Alexander Usyk comes around, like, hey, you know, can he really beat AJ? Can he really handle the heavyweight division? You know, but I don't know how long you've been on that. I don't know how long you've been on here. You know? Boxing Talks gets your dumb ass out of here. Well, you know, he's like, oh, you just talk about Fury. I mean, it's good to talk about Fury. Fury is a talk about, or a very sought after guy. This channel is biased against no boxer. If you want that content, go to Fanon. Fanon will, but I'm gonna tell you, hey, let me let you in on something. Boxing Talk. If you go to Fanon, you're gonna be more pissed over there than you will here, because he'll say some outlandish shit that you know. Tyson Fury's a cheater. Okay, he cheated. Glovegate. Yeah, you know, you could disperse that energy over there. Tank Davis dissed Jared Anderson pretty hard on Twitter. What did he say, man? Send it to me. I know you sent me something earlier today, man. I was asleep. So who you got, Kurt? Wilder versus Zhang. I haven't decided yet. Because June 1st and it's April, May. Okay, so we pretty much got 6 weeks. Give me 3. And then I'll, you know, because I could pretty much see where that goes. Joe Krioff is a heavyweight southpaw prospect to watch for. Drohogir defeated Agron Smakisi. I remember him. The same guy who cut Tyson Fury in spar. Yeah. I remember him. Yeah, Smakisi. Zili Zhang is rubbish. These Fury fans are deluded. I just think people, people are supposed to protect and, be very defensive over their fighters. I think so. I've never seen I've never seen them like that though. Like Wilder lately. I mean, Manny Pacquiao fans were pretty bad. Floyd fans were kind of like a bunch of casuals that never paid for pay-per-view. Those are the dudes. They Floyd, man. Nobody beat Floyd. And then it's like those are the same dudes that kind of, you like if it was up to them, Floyd would be broke because they don't support shit. They never did. Those are the type of guys that drive around on fight night and see who's watching the fight. And I'm not talking about Fast Eddies or a pool hall where you have to pay, something to get in. No, they man, who got that fight? They don't want to see the fight like that. They don't want to participate. Man, you got some wings, y'all cooking barbecue, that type of shit. Manny Pacquiao fans were probably the worst. I never seen the rudest fans I've ever seen was probably Manny Pacquiao fans. And it's crazy. I used to date a lot of Filipino women when I was younger. I didn't know there was that many like shitty, prejudiced ones, They would say shit like, dude, what's wrong with you guys? Kurt and the coach just talk facts. No diddy. No diddy. Kurt, which B-level matchups would you most likely to see? All of them. No, Flomos are like, because To me, like Floyd had fans, but then see, understand, I think the majority of people that watched Floyd didn't like Floyd. Floyd, he was supported by people that hated him because they were watching to see him lose. They weren't watching to see how good he was. Everyone knew Floyd was good. Just people just knew that they didn't like him. They didn't like his personality. They didn't like how he thought. You know, a lot of people, man, let me tell you guys something. There was, if you could find any reason to hate any fighter, Floyd was it. You know what I mean? Floyd went to jail for 90 days for whooping up on his child's mom. You remember that? You know what I mean? So a lot of women started hating him. A lot of women on top of celebrity females started hating Floyd. Floyd was not liked. Floyd was that guy, hey, somebody knock this little bald-headed dude out, please. Can somebody knock his ass out so we can stop looking at him forever? Pretty Boy had fans, but see, here's the thing, Daryl. He didn't have the fans when he was Pretty Boy because there were so many other fighters in that pool that were promoted more than Floyd. Floyd was a Bob Arum fighter. He was a Bob Arum fighter. Okay? Bob Arum promoted Floyd Mayweather from the time he started, which was in the like the last part of the 90s, like 90, I think he turned pro in like 97. Okay? Up until 2005, I think, or 6. So Bob Arum promoted Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd, for a long time. People don't know that. You know, I have to see one thing about boxing history. I know it because I was there. You know what I mean? I watched all those fights, those Friday night fights and all this. You know, I watched those documentaries. You know, you be against your own people, Floyd. You be against your own people, Floyd Wilder. Combat World. No, I don't be against my own people. See, Floyd had a whole different era then. You know, who's to say I'm for or against anybody? They're all boxers. Arum saved Floyd's ass from his own people. Floyd made look, you guys don't understand. Floyd left Bob and went to Jay Prince. Jay Prince, it's extorted Floyd. Okay, he extorted Floyd. They drew down on Floyd and his camp and his people. Yes, this all happened. Floyd got with a damn thug, right? In the Middle East winter and can't drive and can't wear bikinis. Why do people make boxing about races instead of just boxing? Well, a lot of people do that. They do that anyway. It's just they do it in certain groups. So let's say you're up in Boston, okay? Let's say you're up in Boston and it's 2003. You're in Boston. You're in Attleboro, Massachusetts. You're in Attleboro, Massachusetts. And you're at a local bar. And you get out of the car. And you go into the bar. And you throw down a few. And then the fight's on. And it's Mickey Wad. Right? You know, Mickey Wad's an Irish fighter. You know what I mean? So, there you go. You know, you're going to see some... If he's fighting Arturo Gatti, which he fought Arturo Gatti, and he fought him in March or May. He fought him in May of 2022. Brilliant fight. But those circles of people that support that fighter because they're Irish, that's what they do. It's what people do. Just got here. What it do, DeVille? Teddy. Brookshot. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. You can't beat Fanon in a debate. Oh, okay. I don't think that he's really debatable, really. I don't think he has anything to debate with and on. I've heard a lot of Fanon stuff. And I know he has his own... Whoever follows Fanon, wonderful. You know? I think I just don't agree with half the stuff he says. You know, you can't debate ignorance. You can't. You know what I mean? That's like he's talking about a lot of opinionated things. Everything that I said was facts. That had nothing to do with, hey, you know, white people are like this or black people like that's stupid. You know what I mean? Total PBC mule. Yeah. He left the LDBC to join PBC. Now everyone's praising Eddie Hearn. See, it was cool. Like I didn't look at that like that. I just looked at because I didn't see it's stupid anyway to use Wilder as an example. He's a bad example. I don't even know why Wilder went down that path in the first place because he's talking about Eddie Hearn. Well, why did and a lot of people used to do that with Terrence Crawford. Why does Terrence Crawford have a white promoter? I'm like, okay, why does he have a Jewish one? Okay, well, if you're going to ask that stupid question, why does Wilder have a Jewish manager, Shelley Finkel? I mean, it's so stupid. It's the stupidest shit ever. It's the dumbest thing I ever heard. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, they want to use certain things for that reason. AJ to fight winner of Dubois and Hergovic at Wembley September. Thoughts? Love it. Let's have it. We need a fight at Wembley just to make things fresh. And if he fights in September, well, I don't know. I'll probably still be working. But if I'm off, I'll go to that fight. I'll see that fight. I'll go to Wembley. You know what I mean? I will be in London. You know what I mean? And I'm normally like, hey, let me sit remote. No. You know, if I'm not working, because I have a show, a pretty big show. But if I'm not working at that time, oh yeah, I'm going. It's on. I can't follow or watch stupid channels like that, LDBC. They talk other shit and they know it, but they talk it because it gets the views and the people send in cash. Well, yeah, it's just doctrine. I don't really take it seriously, at all. Stuff like that used to make me really angry, and I used to make videos about those. I don't do that shit anymore because it's almost like that doesn't bother me. What show you doing, Kurt? It's called The Lioness with Zoe Saldana. It's on Paramount Plus, big Paramount show. So if you do come over here, Kurt, hit me up, link you for a bite to eat. Absolutely, man. I gotta I come for the fight, but I want to see most of every my members. I want to meet all my members. I want to meet people personally in person. You know what I mean? That's me. I don't want I grew up in the 90s, so we didn't have any of this stuff. We didn't have any of this shit. So, to meet someone in person, I think that's, I think people are so, you know what I mean? Kurt, Zoe Saldana. No, I don't. I will know her though. I will. This channel is for real boxing fans. Absolutely. I just think certain channels, they do the thing, and you have to understand that certain people need certain type of boxing channels to keep them informed with boxing. And a lot of times it doesn't have anything to do with boxing. Some Indians are black and brown and even okay. So what? Psycho Crusher. Facts. I'm an in-person kind of guy too. Yeah. I'm not saying any names, but I went to New York and I called up some guys and I was like, hey man, I'm here, in Manhattan. And I'm like, hey, and then they were like, oh, and then later on, oh man, I was busy. I'm like, you just could have told me that. But then certain people are just cool with the media thing, but Kurt is like a boxing moderator. He comes in bias. Okay. Turkey Al-Sheikh has shaken up boxing to make it interesting. Yeah, he has. He has done exactly that. He's done so many things in a short amount of time. But you have to keep in mind about Turkey Al Sheikh. I know that's what you meant, Teddy. Uh, I think we need to remember he's sick. Turkey Al Sheikh has something going on with him. I think it may be terminal, mortal. Um, and I think he's doing that because he's like, well, look, I'm not going to be around him forever based on what's going on with him. Glenn, hey, Kurt, you doing a live stream for Haney versus Garcia? Absolutely. Absolutely, I'm doing that. I got to go live for that. You know, I mean, the American audience is my second biggest audience, but like, I want to see that fight. You just state facts without emotional investing. Yeah, I can't really say without it because I mean, I get emotional. I get crunk. I get passionate. That's all emotional. I just don't use the other stuff that has nothing to do with boxing, really. You know? Aaron Ivey coming in with that Cinco. He says Fury is the favorite. He will win against Usyk, and the world wants to see AJ versus Fury. Well, I'll say this, Aaron. I agree with that 50% of that, and that's the last part. People want to see that fight. But understand, and I want to make it very clear on Mr. Deathwish. Wilder's new name is Mr. Deathwish. Okay? His new name is Mr. Deathwish. Deontay Deathwish Wilder. Why you mocking Blue way of reading super chats? Blue way? What do you mean? Blue way. Well, you don't get defensive or cry, baby, like Boxing Ego or Bruce effing Vane. Well, again, I think people they push certain narratives to see who bites. Blue blood. What about blue blood? What's going on with blue? Hulk Hogan is a racist, people say. Hulk Hogan is racist, people say. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that at all. You know, just because someone calls you that. You know what I look at? Let me give you a perfect example of how I look at racism and how people look at racism. I look at racism the same way I look at sexuality, right? People may call you a racist just like people may call you gay. Man, I heard he's gay. I heard he's racist. They're not like, you know, racist is probably, you know, more sought after as far as not good, negative, but they're all the same to me. You know, Ivan Drago versus Deontay Wilder. I don't know. I got Wilder. You know, blue blood, cool. He just confused about Wilder. I mean, I like blue blood. I think Blue was the first person that I actually ever talked to in a debate, and now we don't have any problems at all. At all. You know, and like for a few years we went like head to head for a few years, but then like after that it was like it wasn't. Maybe like 2 or 3. I think it was 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. We did I think Lady Shan. Yes, Jay Roos, Lady Shan. Like, who the hell is that? She had us all on a panel. And it just so happened to be we were on this panel because we all knew her. You know, and then after that we became Instagram, and we'll send messages back and forth, stuff like that. You know, certain people I never had a problem with. You know, once Kurt got cool with him, I was cool with him. I mean, he wasn't like, in what happened with, I'm going to tell you what happened with him. What turned him around was Terrence Crawford rolling up on him. Because Terrence used to listen to him, and he found him, and then he kind of cornered his ass. And then he had to like show him certain stuff to make him like, okay, I can't use this or say this no more because you've shown me something that I really needed to know. And this was before the Errol Spence fight. And then, of course, when it actually came down, because they still didn't fight, right? Sizzler 10 coming in with that 2 pounds. Appreciate you, brother. Both Zhang and Wilder throw with bad intentions. They don't land much, so they try and make them count. Well, here's the deal. You know, Blue, he had to, you know, but at least he was mad at, like, if someone came, like if Wilder came to me and showed me, like, let's go back 5 years. And I used to make a lot of Wilder, you know, content. People used to hate me, especially Wilder fans, because, you know, I was like, okay, well, what sense does it make to turn down this offer? You don't make that much money. And if Wilder came to me and was like, hey, this is what's going on, I could clearly know what he was showing me versus what you hear and what you don't hear. You know? He's probably saying that because Hogan was caught on tape saying he doesn't want his daughter dating. And yeah, I think it was more than that too. I think his wife was with a guy. I had thought of that. I just didn't want to go into it. I'm not really a wrestling fan. You know, Riddick Bowe all day in his prime. Let's see. Kurt, who you got? Lennox Lewis versus Anthony Joshua. Now? I don't know. I still look at that. Like prime Lennox Lewis versus Anthony Joshua. If I could say 50-50, I would, but I'm not. I'm still not. I'm still not going to say 50. I'm going to say this, maybe 55 Lennox, 45 Joshua. Because I really liked how Joshua actually learns how to do shit. You know, the pull counter and, you know what I mean? Things he actually works on, and he's open to the idea. You know what I mean? Look. I would understand this. And this is not me being biased. See, bias would be 50-50, but I know that's not true. And I'm an AJ fan. I was not a Lennox Lewis fan. I was not. I was a Mike Tyson fan. You know what I mean? I didn't even really care for Holyfield. Holyfield was okay. But I liked David Tua. I liked Mike Tyson. I liked Ika Barabucci. George Foreman. I was more proud of his career because George Foreman was from another era. Okay, he was a guy that came back to the sport, and he was old. He was that old representative. He was that Luis Ortiz in the 90s. That's who George Foreman was. You know, he just came back to the sport, and he shocked the world by knocking out Michael Moore. I was with my father when that happened. Me and my dad, seen George Foreman knock out Michael Moore. Tua versus AJ, that's a dangerous fight for AJ. Could AJ keep him at bay? See, here's the problem. Lennox Lewis was just more fluid. His jab was better. And AJ has a hell of a jab. It's just, but, you know, like Lewis threw his jab, and he brought it here. But he wanted to bring it here because David Tua would lunge at you. He would throw this lunging left hook, but he all you had to do to know, okay, he has the left hook, and that's pretty much it. He was kind of like Deontay Wilder, but very short. Everyone knows Wilder for the right hand. Everybody knew Tua for the left hook. They knew, don't get hit with the left hook. If you don't, you'll be fine. He's short. Don't let him catch you. If he catches you, you're in trouble. Okay? That was David Tua. Do you think Beterbiev would beat Holyfield at light heavyweight? Oh, no. I don't know. It's a good question. Dang. I'll say this. This is what I'll say. Ask me a question. How about James Toney? I think James Toney could beat Beterbiev because Beterbiev, the way he comes in, he kind of pawns in, but then when he gets in, he's throwing hard punches. And then when he is in, he's throwing these short powerful hooks. Ace 99 times. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you in the building. Luis Ortiz prepared George Foreman for his comeback. Boots is going to destroy Crawford, Spence, and everyone else. I think, and this is the problem with Boots. He doesn't have a dancing partner. And what's sad about that is Boots is like, he's young, and I just hope these guys don't get old and try to take Boots then. Fight him now when you still got a chance. Fight him now when you're still credible. Fight him now when you're still a threat or a danger. You know what I mean? You still got that flame. Fight him now. Don't fight him later when he's a bigger problem. You know, and see, Boots ain't ready. We don't know if he's ready or not. But if he's asking for a shot, give it to him. You think about all those guys Terrence Crawford fought that like a lot of people didn't even view as credible, you know, because he was blackballed, right? Well, okay, he ain't black. Well, he kind of is. You know, they're trying to blackball Terrence in another way. They're just trying to keep him from fighting other fighters that the fighters that he's already beat fought. He's trying to keep, you know, they're trying to keep him from fighting him because they don't want him to get the glory because they want like Errol Spence to. He ain't fought anyone. He has not. But here's the thing. That's the point. Who did Jose Benavidez fight? You know what I mean? Boxing is the states is dormant. And I like the Nuka. Okay. Benavidez is horrible. Canelo will definitely destroy him easy. But see, it's easy to say. I want to see it. See, my people from Missouri, you got to show me that. See, I don't live with the perception. That's like how everybody used to think about Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, man, he'll outbox AJ. How you know that? We ain't ever seen that. Oh, he'll beat Usyk because Usyk's too small. How do we know that? And then what more than likely happens when the fight takes place, it goes nothing like you think or you perceive it to be. It goes nothing like that. And then you're like, damn, I can't believe it. I saw that shit. There you go. There you go. You think Munguia has a chance? Yeah, he has a chance to have a good fight, but he'll still lose. Because Munguia is a guy, okay? Munguia is a guy that gives you what you want if you're a counterpuncher, and Canelo Alvarez is a counterpuncher. You know? But I'm going to say this. I don't think Wilder has grown like he perceives to be. I don't think Wilder is a guy. You know, Kurt, who wins Ika Barabucci versus Evander Holyfield? I got to go with Ike. Glenn, I like the kid, but I need to see him fight in top tier. Top tier? Who? I mean, Danny Garcia before you call out Crawford. We talking about Boots Ennis? Listen, do you guys understand where Danny Garcia is? Danny Garcia is no longer a welterweight. You know, he's at 154. There's nobody to fight. Those guys are gone. PBC's done. They're done, bro. I'm sorry, they're done. PBC is done. They're finished. They're finished. Because, I mean, you had Errol Spence, you had Sean Porter, you had Yordenis Ugas, you had, who else did you have? You had guys like Danny Garcia, Charlos were both at 154 at one point. One's still there, I think. You know? Don't see Danny ever fighting again. Yeah, he'll fight again. He needs some money. They're going to get him some fights. See, the thing about the PBC with Al Heyman, they'll get you a fight every blue moon, but then they're not going to give you a guaranteed purse based on what you feel. They'll give you a projected, well, hey, what do you think that you're worth? What is your asking amount? They'll like, hey, we'll give you $1.5 million, and then we'll put it on pay-per-view. Yeah, I like Ortiz. He should never have joined PBC, though. He could have had a way better paydays in those years he gave them. Well, here's the problem with Luis Ortiz. There's a problem with a lot of those guys like that. The problem is, or was, should I say, Luis Ortiz, he was with Matchroom before he was with PBC. Did you guys know that? And when he was with Matchroom, he had a couple fights. He had a fight with David Allen. Then he had another fight with Malik Scott. The Malik Scott fight stunk up the place, something terrible. Kurt, where do you get your hair transplant done at? Turkey? It looks really good. You look 10 years younger. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I saw that Dave Allen fight. He didn't impress. Boots over Thurman. Yeah, what is he? Look, Keith Thurman. No, I mean, I like, look. The only person that he could have put, like Eddie could have put Dillian White with Luis Ortiz. He didn't do it. He could have put Luis Ortiz up against Anthony Joshua. He didn't do it. Because at that time, you know, that's put on paper. Luis Ortiz at what about 36? No, 35, 36. But this was a long time ago. And they dropped him. He was planning on those fights. Please don't say you're too loud. I want the fight to happen. I watched Spence's ass whooping for weeks, and I'm hungry for Boots' ass whooping. Well, if they give Terrence Crawford the right amount of money, he'll take the fight. But understand this, if that happens, when that happens, if that happens, and Terrence beats Boots, there's nothing else you should ask for Terrence Crawford in life. Because people already think Canelo is, you know, Canelo's going to fight who he wants. Canelo's been that way. Canelo's been that way for 10 years. Let's just face it. He's been that way since the Floyd and the Lara fight. After that, he turned into a diva. He stayed at 155. He was not a middleweight, but he had the WBC belt. He took off of Miguel Cotto, and Miguel Cotto didn't want to fight Golovkin. And Miguel said, you know what? I'm going to fight Saddam Ali at 154, and he got his ass beat, and he got out of the sport himself. So, look, I don't want to, like, listen. Canelo Alvarez should retire. He should retire. You know what I mean? Yes, is a fight against Jaime Munguia a good fight? Sure. I mean, I'll watch it, but, you know, if you no longer really want to truly challenge yourself and you say, do what I want to do, that means I don't care about you. Bars. That's all Canelo's telling you. I fight who I want. That means I don't care what any one of you guys say. I'm going to do what I want to do. You either watch it or you don't. I don't care because I'm a millionaire. Bars. That's all Canelo's telling you. But I mean, in defense of Canelo, he is fighting an undefeated guy. You know what I mean? That really ain't campaigned at 168 now. Let's be real. He ain't, you know, he's a big boy, big younger guy. He wanted the opportunity. He's going to make millions for his family. So let's be happy for Jaime. But understand, Jaime is not the guy that people wanted to see. But understand this. The people that also hated Canelo wanted to just see him fight David Benavidez just to see him lose. You know? So you have to look at it like that too. A lot of people are talking smack about Canelo because they don't like Canelo necessarily. You know what I'm saying? So you can tell, like certain people hated Floyd because he was black. He was cocky. He was arrogant. You know what I mean? And it wasn't because of what they said it was for. Fight Manny Pacquiao. Well, he's beaten everyone else. You just don't want to see him fight. You know, you just don't like him, period. A lot of people didn't. just because I have a legitimate reason not to like a person, it's a legitimate, doesn't mean someone else can, they can pretend that that's the reason, but it's probably something else. I hate that guy. I don't hate that guy. What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? How old do you think Barroso really is? I'm thinking upper 40s. Well, he just may be a guy that lived a rough life. He may be in his 40s, but he just, he might have been on drugs. Certain things. He might have been a drunk. Okay, so yeah. Usyk will beat Luke if it was shitty the way that he aged, out-aged Triple G. Triple G did that to himself. Triple G, Triple G, like, listen, you go the Canelo way, that's you're going to expect to get done a certain way when you deal with Canelo. So it is what it is. Boots would F Bud up. So Canelo is the new Floyd. Yeah. I mean, he's adopted the same things. I'm the cash cow. I'm this, I'm that. Yeah. It's getting too thick in here. Bees. Kurt, you killed me with that the other day about Triple D. And yeah, man. Yeah, that's Danny Dubois. Because, Usyk was coming at him, dude. He pissed Usyk off. He hit Usyk. He hit Usyk in that prostate area. Usyk's damn near 40 years old. You can't get hit in areas like that. You know what I'm saying? That's a tender area. You need to protect your prostate. Your prostate is the reason for everything else to go the way it's supposed to go when you're talking about downstairs, you see. That in your bladder, okay? You have to protect those areas of your body. And then you got a young, big, bulky ass 25-year-old dude that comes in. That pissed Usyk off. Kirk Frank Sanchez versus Anthony Joshua. Who you got? That's anybody's fight. I mean, AJ's good, but then AJ would have to show how good he is against someone like Frank, because Frank's an explosive fighter. He's an explosive fighter, and he has that Cuban style. That cat and mouse, those traps that he sets from a distance. And he can attack from that distance quickly with counters. Boots is all hype, though. AJ will beat Sanchez. If he beats Sanchez, there'll be another name on the belt. Hopefully Sanchez makes about 4 or 5 million. You know what I mean? And he can kind of chill like Andy did. Because Andy ain't been right since, man. Andy got that AJ money. AJ, come fight me. Let's do another part 3. That's my legacy. Kurt, did you see Logan Paul hit Little Pump in his kidney? No. Sanchez should fight Ruiz. Yeah, but that Ruiz is not going to take a fight with Sanchez. That's not going to happen. Many Spence fans lost houses, cars, money, girlfriends, bling bling, cause of Spence's ass whooping. They'll never forgive Bud for that. Well, I mean, that's the fault. Bud went in there and tapped that ass like Bud always does. And I tried to tell people, Errol Spence, it's not because Errol Spence had the better opposition. It had nothing to do with that. And Spence, see, his resume was fabricated, but it was protected because of the possibility and the options that he had. See, he was in a position that he was with an advisor that could give him many more fights besides the fights that we wanted to be seen. Okay, the fights we wanted to see were him and Terrence Crawford. But Al Heyman didn't want that fight. Al Heyman didn't want him in there with Terrence Crawford because he knew. Al Heyman knew If he gets in there with Terrence and he loses, it's over. See, you can talk about car wrecks and being drunk driving and getting in another car accident and then, slurring speech at parties. You can cover all that up, whatever. That's just a lifestyle. But if you go in there and get your ass beat, it's not good. You know what I'm saying? And he knew that. Al knew that. Al is an advisor for a reason. He knew, man, you can't deal with that dude over there in fucking top rank. Talking about Terrence? Dude, Terrence, you can look at Terrence. Terrence is one of those guys that he's been in 3 different weight classes and he's conquered 2 of them. He's took it. That man is Thanos, 140, 147. And he wanted to do it really at 154, but he started thinking about it like, nah, why would I do that at 150? He would have beat Jermell too. Matter of fact, he would have stopped Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo would have been stopped for the first time in his career. Because by the time when Terrence gets through sticking that jab, bap, 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 putting those punches together on you, and he had no answer for him, either the fight was going to get stopped like he did with Errol Spence, or he was going to knock him out. Do you guys imagine if that Errol Spence fight would have prolonged and kept going? He probably would have killed Errol, bro. Errol's face looked so bad. When did that fight get stopped? 7th round? Or was it round 9? Was it round 7 or round 9? When did Terrence Crawford, when did that fight end between Terrence and Errol? What round was it? Joyce is no longer the same fighter. 7. So that was only 7 rounds. That was 1 round past 6. So you were in the second half of that fight. Imagine if it would have went to 9 or 10. It was going to eventually end. But imagine if it went there. Look at Errol's face in 7 rounds. And you know what? Terrence took off 2 rounds. He just kind of, moved around because he knew, I have Errol where I want him. I've already dropped him twice. He can't take my punches. I can take his punches. He has nothing for me. He has nothing to offer me. He has nothing to threaten me. I got him. And he did Errol a favor. Errol came in, did his same old song and dance, the same shit he always does, works behind the jab. He tries to go to the body. And it looked so fucking elementary. That's what it looked like. It looked so elementary. And it looked, so basically, if he took off 2 rounds and he picked up in the 7th round, so that means by round 5, he was like, well, I got him. So let me take 6 off. Bud beat the Jackson 5 hairdo into Spence's hairstyle. It reminded me of the 7. Yeah, it did look funky, didn't it? Man, he made Errol Spence look like, fuck, what's his name? What's his name? Jimi Hendrix. There you go. Terrence Crawford made Errol Spence look like buckwheat. He made him look like Jimi Hendrix. He did. Yeah, right. Usyk, very good fight, bro. Ruiz, Usyk. Usyk will just outpunch. Usyk would outwork. That would be an easy fight. Ruiz, I don't care how small he gets. He won't be able to deal with that movement. But no. Terrence Crawford turned Errol Spence into Jimi Hendrix. Purple haze fill my brain. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? All he needed is a bandana and wrapped around. What do you consider a fit Ruiz to look like? I don't know. I mean, because I like Andy, man. I don't want to be talking about Andy like that. Andy's a fat guy. Understand, when you're accustomed to having a certain body style, and you've had that body style for a long time, and the body style that you had is due to the fact that you were obese, you have to understand that the muscles you normally have, and I'm no slender guy. I used to be very slender. But, I mean, Ruiz has a big head, and he was tubby, big solid calves, shorter arms. He had titties. So listen, when you're reconstructing your body, depends. See, when you're fat, you have to do more if you want to look fit or you want to have some type of physique. You're going to have to understand that you're going to have what you call, you're going to have to undo what you call muscle construction. So if you had titties and the titties are all up under here and they're sagging down and you hold a baby and the baby trying to, right? You're going to have to, you know, he's just going to have to reconstruct, you know. I don't know. I don't know. Because Ruiz, I mean, you like, yeah, Ruiz disappoints me too. But like Ruiz, he's just bad built. I mean, either he just gets slim, look like Turtle from Entourage. You know what I mean? He could do that and turn into a vegetarian. But no, Haney versus press conference is now occurred. Let's check it out. Let's see. Let's hear Ryan Garcia talk more shit. Is Luis Ortiz retired? Just fight with Ruiz is very good. I mean, due to the fact that he looked old, he did, he showed heart for an old man. I don't really, I don't like to. Yeah, I don't really rate quitters either. See, you guys remember, he's still a quitter. Dude, I gotta fold clothes and let's see. Here we go. White is finished. How about Dillian White versus Andy Ruiz? I mean, those I would like to see that. I wanted to see it 3-4 years ago.
Fisticuffs, Game 7, and take control of all boxing's most stacked divisions.
I don't care about Ryan. I care about greatness. Ryan is just in my way. He's the guy I gotta step on.
Which leads to one final difference. In the case of the savant versus the showman, both might want the same thing, but doing it is another thing entirely.
Okay. Started 7 minutes ago. So let's check it out, man, Let's check out this sucker. Frank Sanchez versus Dillian White. Frank beats Dillian White. It'll take a while. He'll probably stop him in round 8. I got Hunter by stoppage. No, Wilder, he ain't gonna fight Dillian White. Dillian White he needs some climbing to do. Especially if he beats Zhang. I mean, that will be any no.
Once again. Yeah, welcome everyone to the event of the year. There is just something about a major fight in New York that hits a little different. And everywhere I've gone this week, people are super pumped for Haney versus Ryan Garcia. As a promoter, as a fighter, as a fan, I can't wait for this whole card. It is my pleasure to introduce the fighters who will put on the show for you come Saturday night. This next gentleman I will introduce to you, I am super excited about. He is an exciting prospect in our Golden Boy roster. Darius Fulgham is poised to take over the division.
People are in there nodding like that.
Such confidence and discipline in and out of the ring. A quality that has put him on track for a world title. I'm extremely proud and happy to introduce to you from Houston, Texas.
Talks about rollies.
9
Rollies.
knockouts. Darius Fulgham to say a few words. Darius.
I just want to tell everybody a little bit of my thoughts as I was just sitting here on the podium. I was looking up at the arena that we at, and I was just thinking, man, how lucky I am to be here, right? So then I started thinking about the concept of luck. How lucky I am to be born into the family that I got, blessed by the support they have, to be lucky to have met the people I met, to have the team that surrounds me, that pushes me, that builds me. Lucky I am to have the friends and the team that I have at Golden Boy that's helping push me and promote my career. And I think about luck. I mean, how lucky am I? But then the main thing I think about also with that is, do I really believe in luck? You know, in moments like this, luck is really just when preparation meets opportunity. And I prepared my ass off for this. I prepared hard, and I'm ready to showcase that to the world. And I'm just extremely blessed, honored, and I guess lucky to be here. Thank you for y'all, and I'll see y'all 2 more nights, Saturday night. Thank you.
Leading off our pay-per-view is a 10-round fight in the middleweight division that I am extremely proud of and excited about. It is my pleasure to introduce one of Golden Boy's latest star signings, who we have big plans for. But first, he has to get past Saturday night, which will be a big test against a veteran fighter of 30 fights in front of a pay-per-view audience and in front of a sellout crowd. He is a U.S. Olympian with an outstanding undefeated record. He hails from Cleveland, Ohio, with a record of 18-0 and 13 knockouts, making his Golden Boy debut, Charles Conwell. Charles.
I just want to tell everyone I'm excited. I'm back in the ring after a long layoff. I prepared real hard, and somebody got to pay for it, so I'm just excited to be here. And let's make it happen.
We have big plans for Charles. He's been a little inactive last year, but we have plans to keep him busy.
Okay, so I'm watching De La Hoya, read his prompted script there. I mean, he's doing all right. I mean, he's okay. But I mean, it's just kind of boring to me now. I mean, I know this is the undercard, and Haney and Garcia's not even out yet. So, whatever. And I think you guys are like, this shit's boring too. But anyway, if Wilder beats Zhang, don't be surprised he gets AJ. Well, I won't be, and I know that will be his new lease on life, and I know that will be a fight that should be promoted to happen, because if it's not going to happen after he does that, it will never happen. Thanks for the love, Kurt. Got to get back to work. God bless. Marlon Thornell in the building. Kind of punch to you. Kurt, what if the Zhilei Zhang versus Deontay Wilder fight becomes a draw? They'll have the fight again. And that means that they'll have another check to look forward to. Anthony Joshua beats Tyson Fury. I always thought he did. I always thought he would. For big guys to big guys, it is what it is. Time is it anyway? Skrilla, yes, he did forget about that. If Wilder beats Zhang, I'm letting you all know it's Wilder, AJ in September. Yeah, at Wembley Stadium. Imagine Wilder and AJ at Wembley Stadium. Yeah, it would do 100,000 people. It would do 100,000 people.
This man right here, my opponent, he can put on the show. I'm here for my family and to put on a great exhibition.
Thank you very much. Gracias. Across the ring will be a young man that everyone at Golden Boy Promotions is super excited about and will be making his first run at a world title shot. Leading off the broadcast from my neck of the woods in Los Angeles, ladies and gentlemen, with a record of 13-0 and 9 knockouts, John Scrappy Ramirez.
New York, what's up? Hey, make some noise, man. It's a little too dead up in here, you know what I'm saying? It's a big court. It's a big court.
Yeah, I mean, it is dead, bro. Like, people are like, ugh.
Biggest court of the year, you know? A lot of people are not counting us in, you know? Talking shit about us. It's cool. It motivates us. It's time for us to give them a show, you know? Oscar's doing a tremendous job promoting, putting good fights together. And we got to do our part. With that being said, I do want to say this though, quote unquote, they say I'm lucky. Well, Darius, you took my fucking word, bro. That's when opportunity meets preparation, you know? I've been boxing for 7 years. My main mission was to become a world champion. I didn't care about the amateurs. I had to do it, and I did it. But now I'm here, you know? I've been consistent and persistent chasing the dream. I sacrificed a lot. You know, I haven't cut corners. I've been disciplined, you know, and this is the life that I chose, you know. This man right here, he got what it takes. I know he's ready to put it all on the line. But guess what? That shit turns me on. I want that. To be good, you gotta beat people like him, you know? So I'm prepared. I'm mentally, physically ready for whatever. Listen, I'm also happy to be part of this big card, right? But I'm not here to be part of this shit. I'm here to take over the show. So my people, welcome to the motherfucking Scrap Show.
Okay, a little scrappy, Ramirez. I like him already. Somebody, we need people like that. Oscar Rivas versus Andy Ruiz. Oscar Rivas is not fighting anymore, man. His eye's jacked up. He's done. He had damage to his eye, and that's it. I don't know what the hell is he doing, you know.
Can't miss. All action. First up is an undefeated fighter from France who has an amazing opportunity to shine on the biggest pay-per-view of the year. With a record of 22-0 and 12 knockouts, I introduce to you Pierre Debam. Pierre.
So, hello everyone. Excuse my English because I'm from France, so my English is not very good. I'm very excited to be here. My preparation was very good. I'm glad Golden Boy gave me this opportunity, and we'll make a good fight. I know he's a good fighter. I'm a great fighter too. So, let's go.
Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Pierre will be facing a fighter who always brings huge power and excitement to the ring. He is truly the definition of a wrecking ball who likes to roll over everything in his path. With a record of 13-1, with 10 knockouts, and he avenged that loss against my boy, right? Rosado, yeah, which was great. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Beck, the bully, Milakusev. Beck.
Assalomu alaykum. Hello everyone. Albatta bugun nima deydi? Katta shouda tushayotganimdan juda ham xursandman. Albatta shunday ishonch bildirgani uchun Golden Promotioniga, Oscar, Hopkins hammasiga rahmat aytaman. Xudo xolasa nima deydi? Yaxshi jang ko'rsatib, chiroyli g'alaba ko'rsatishga albatta harakat qilaman. Saturday, great time, inshallah. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I want to thank Oscar for this opportunity, thank Bernard for this opportunity, and it's a huge show. I'm glad to be part of it. And you know, when I'm in the ring, it's a bully time. Let's go Saturday.
Yeah, this fight here, you don't wanna blink your eye, man. This is gonna be a good fight. Really entertaining fight. Our co-main event is one that I'm really excited about as well. It's a 10-round battle in the junior welterweight division, with the winner being positioned for a championship title fight. First off, from Belfast, with a record of 18-1 with 5 knockouts, and riding a 7-fight winning streak, Sean, the public nuisance, McCone. Sean.
Firstly, I want to thank Golden Boy for this opportunity. Just like Oscar said before the press conference about Rocky Balboa, this is a real Rocky Balboa situation for me. To be given this opportunity, I believe I need to grab it with both hands. I've done all the work mentally and physically. I'm ready. And come Saturday night, I'm here to appear on the show. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sean. In the red corner will be a recent Golden Boy signee who has impressed everyone in the company from the moment he signed with us. He is undefeated, he is fearless, he is extremely skilled, and has a world championship in his sights. With a record of 29-0, 11 knockouts, Arnold Barbosa Jr. Arnold.
Mr. Barbosa.
First off, I want to thank God, who strengthened me. Without him, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. Next, I want to thank Oscar, B-Hop, Eric, and the whole Golden Boy team for putting
Yeah, I think he knocks out Stevenson. Stevenson, we've seen him. He gets hit, he'll get on his bicycle, and I see that fight being boring once Stevenson finds out, like, look, this guy can punch. I've never been in there with a guy like that, with that type of power, that explosiveness. Yeah.
Since I was 5.5 years old, just a kid from the city of Friendly and Monte, and I got some people in the house that flew down from the city, amazing support, but I have a saying, that I'm forever grateful, but I'm never satisfied. I'm forever grateful. I'm grateful to be here, but I ain't satisfied. On my name just taking instead of Haney Garcia, it's gonna be Barbosa versus everybody. So with that being said, let's see you guys Saturday night, and best believe it's gonna be a fucking good show. See you guys.
Just so you know, every fighter, every participant here, one loss, undefeated. This is your time to shine. I'm talking like a fighter right now. It's time to shine. It's time to be on the big stage and give it all you have. This is the opportunity. So good luck, and yeah, we'll see you in the ring. Max.
Thank you, Oscar. A reminder, tickets still available at the Barclays Center. The prelims begin 5 o'clock Eastern Time, 2 Pacific on DAZN Worldwide. We're going to reset the stage now for a moment. Come back with the main event, Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. For now, Ade, we'll throw it back to you.
All right, so let's pause that for a second. Let's get back to Skrilla or a stablemate. Tony Lyons, where are you from? What city? Where you from, homie? Yeah, well, guys, I got to get out of here. Got to do more content. It's been a pleasure to hang out with you guys. 2 hours and 22 minutes. So, I'm going to look at the rest of this or whatever. I got a lot of stuff to do. I'm about to cook and all that good stuff. So, got to do some more content for the day, of course. Por supuesto. And I will hit you guys up. The day's Thursday. We will be back for this particular fight between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. So everything that everybody talked about, we will see. But you guys, be safe, be blessed on this Thursday. And everyone has been counterpunched. Peace!